Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. The topic of discussion is, are all covert narcissists always secretive? Let's jump in. The covert narcissists, they thrive off being secretive. They thrive off deception. Whatever they tell you their history is a complete lie. It's almost completely fabricated. And you will know this when you find out the truth. I have said on previous podcasts, if you really want to know a lot about how deep you are in the lies with the narcissist, find a friend of theirs. If you're questioning, find a friend of theirs that you are able to talk to. And just within 5 minutes of talking with one of their friends, that would be like a flying monkey that is not a narcissist, but they're deceived just like you were. They will tell you in 5 minutes about 10 lies about this individual. This is when you will know how deep you are in the circuit of their lies. To explain this further, I mean, from date number one, it was a lie. You would think that they would tell you truth about their history, but that's not even true. Their parents, where their parents worked, what their brother does, what their sister does for a living, any of it, where their family came from. I even questioned the birthday of mine and the name. That's how bad when you get into sociopathy it can be. Yes, they are full of deception. They're deceivers and they get off on it. They laugh behind your back about how much they have deceived you and manipulated your life. And, then a lot of people want to always continually give them a break. How many breaks do they get? That's what I ask. I wonder. I forgive them. So it's not a forgiveness thing. But I mean, how many breaks are you going to give them? When are you're not even ignorant to it? Because if you're ignorant, it's not knowing. So how much are you going to give them? You're going to just let them run all over you forever? For me, I think that when you wake up to this stuff and if you get with one of their friends that just nonchalantly will talk about them in different conversations and what they've been doing, maybe in the time off that they were not with you, or a little bit if they know some of their history, you will be amazed at how much they lie. I mean, we're talking about a complete background of them is a complete lie. Where they came from and where their parents worked or work, who may own their house, or what their brother does for a living, all of it is a complete flip from what you were told. And so they try to, when they talk about this fantasy, I mean, it's a true fantasy. Some people are like, well, what's the fantasy mean? It's the mask. It's you believing the mask, right? But to go deeper, it's everything that the mask has told you, which is every time you're with the narcissist, they're wearing the mask. And the only time that they're not wearing the mask is when you are discarding them because you've had too much. And that's when they peel it off and they will cuss you out and degrade you as best they know how. And that's when you're seeing their true self. But anytime that you're with them, it's going to be the mask. Except for when they're devaluing you. Anytime they're devaluing you is their true self. That's how they really feel about you. So if you think they love you, I mean, have you ever had somebody else leave you this way, this hard and this rough? When they leave you quick, fast, jump to a new supply, and they degrade you completely just to destroy you. They'll tell you anything that they know about you that they can use to rip you to shreds, they will. And then you wonder if they love you. And I've been there, but they don't. They don't love anybody. They don't even love themselves. You know what they love is that mask. They love the mask because that's the only thing they work hard for. So I was talking about yesterday, we build our clout. Clout, in my humble opinion, is stuff that you worked on in your life to garner that. You formed solid relationships with people and you worked hard. You had integrity. That gives you clout. And your words matter. They mean something to you and to other people when you speak and you're serious. And the narcissist, their clout or anything they work on is from that mask, that false self. They build that mask into what they want it to be, and they tell everybody that backdrop story. They tweak it and twist it a little to make it even better. I mean, if they could make it more grand, more glorious for them, or if they could hear a better victim story they could steal, they'll use it. If they could hear a more grand story for themselves from rags to riches or whatever, they'll do it. They're just not very creative. They have to bite off everybody. So they're waiting to hear that next best story that they can steal from somebody and use it as their own. Their whole background is a lie that they told you. If you're with a covert narcissist, their whole history is a lie. Well, their whole present is a lie because they're not just seeing you. In fact, they're so bad with it that they'll leave your house and go to the next source supply's house and spend the night. And that's the fantasy. The fantasy is what they get you to believe, that life is with them, which is all a lie. It's crazy when you've been with somebody for a long period of time and you find out that everything that you've heard was a complete lie. When you hear about them being hollow and soulless, it's true. On my first date with this individual, my intuition told me that, and I felt that, and I denied it. But when I reflected back, it was very creepy, that feeling. I've never had that feeling before. It was my intuition waking up. But when your intuition is so hard on you that it wakes you up, you have to understand that this person is really wanting to hurt you. Because that's when your intuition shows up. The more pressured you get from your intuition is because this individual intuition is trying to alert you to, wants you off. You got to be careful. But what they do a lot of times is they will tell you all these lies about their history and their present, what degrees they have, what jobs they've had in the past, where they lived, who they lived with or who they dated, who they were friends with, who they met, places that they've gone, family that they have and where they worked. Sometimes their current residence is a lie. Sometimes their name can be a lie. If they changed their name and they tell you it was something else, but it was really different than even that. Or their birth date, if they came from another country. Just different situations where their family's background, they may tell you they're wealthy and they came from something very prestigious, when in fact they were poor. They may tell you they have several degrees when they don't. They will tell you stories of how they were the victim, that they may have a birthmark and tell you it was a bullet that they took. I mean, they are horrible. And these are the types of stories and things that I had dealt with, only to find that it was all a lie. They do all of this, and what they do is the first sign of you understanding or waking up, from narcissism, or the fact that they're lying to you and you're checking them, they will ghost you. They're gone. The first inkling of it. They are so paranoid and so keen. That's why when you start to wake up, or you start to understand what you're dealing with, the cracks in their stories and stuff, that they will look at you like, like that. It's almost like a shock to them. I think that they believe their falsehood so much at a certain point in time because they tell so many people they live in that role. It's like this alter ego, but the alter ego is running their life. Then when they leave you, ghost you, because you start to catch on to some lies, they are like Ricochet Rabbit. They're gone right away. And then they'll come right back as soon as they're with the new supply or the current supply, whatever they are. And they do the same thing. Or they get in hot water over there. Then they come back and they come back like, hey, or like nothing ever happened. And being the empath that's unawoke or on the verge of waking, you're going to be as if you still don't want to make waves, you know, if you don't want them to leave or something. So what will you do? You'll people please. And they will gamble with that kind of stuff. They'll gamble and they will spend time on this, thinking about and strategizing on how they think you will respond to things or react to things. They also, if you catch them in a lie, they double down on it. And they'll tell more lies that back up the other lie. I've even had mine, I had gotten information about her from a friend of hers that had defined that so many lies that I had found. And she even doubled down and asked me if I wanted her to call her right then. And I said no. But that was the end for me. I knew that individual was not a liar that told me that information. She was naive in believing her mask. She had known this individual for years because she had been friends with her brother. So they will do these things. And then what will happen is when you find out the truth, it's almost like they run away from that, and then you're sitting here in shambles with the truth. They'll leave you in shambles with the truth and let somebody else deal with it. And that's the real truth about what a covert narcissist is like. They're trash. And they're not trash because of anything less than because they chose to be trash. And that may sound bad to some of y'all, but so be it. They're trash. They choose to be trash. They use everybody. They abuse everybody that they can, and they will destroy anybody given the chance, and somebody that checks them for just petty stuff. These are individuals that become dictators of countries, of small countries, and they have pull, and they take people out left and right. The only difference is their reach, their power, and their opportunity. Because if you put these individuals in a high place of power where they had money, power, control, there would be people showing up missing. Promise. Because they don't feel love. And that means they have no problem not having somebody in their life, period. They wouldn't miss them at all. They would live off of the sadness other people had from that person not being around anymore. That's how bad these people are. So anyway, if you can give me a like, subscription, and a thumbs up, love y'all. Peace. Till next time, we out.